will start where they're going to be little kegs and eggs tailgating. Not in the SEC. Big 12. Big noon in the Big 12, where it's 10 a.m. local in Salt Lake City for Texas Tech at Utah. Utah is a 3.5-point favorite. Of course, they're a 3.5-point favorite. This is the coin. This is the 3.5 plus and minus coin that we needed to mint for the Big 12, but we still haven't got around to it.
Yeah. So this is great. This is a great game. It's
amazing.
Great game. And I think that this is the week where like Utah takes come home to roost. And I'm very interesting. Does come home to roost have a negative connotation?
Yes. Come home to roost usually has a negative connotation, but it's not just the Utah takes. It's also the Texas Tech takes, because if we're going to pick two teams that people said, okay, this is a team that did not really compete for the Big 12 title last year that we think will win the Big 12 title this year, it's either Utah or Texas Tech.
Yeah, I just meant like we're going to figure it out right now. Like these are the two.
Well, we're not, because what if they play a 1-point game that gets decided on a weird call? Like, we won't figure anything out if that happens.
Yeah, that's true. It's also the Big 12, so we don't know anything about the Big 12 ever. But like, I think that I'm very interested in your pick here, because I know beyond the shadow of a doubt where I'm going.
Really?
I know what I'm taking. I gave it away. I'm going to take 3.5 points. This seems to me like a coin flip, and I'm going to take the 3.5. But like Texas,
you're going Texas Tech.
Yeah, but I'm curious, because your prediction in the offseason was that Utah would play for the Big 12 championship, and I know that they could still technically do that even if they lost on
but the other team I thought they'd be playing is probably Texas Tech.
So it sounds like you have a lot of emotional baggage to unpack here. Devin Dampier is really exciting. Utah's got two of the best offensive linemen in the country. They play good defense. Their coach is consistent as ever. Texas Tech bought a roster that should have better players across the board. And Texas Tech, by the way, not sure how much people have been paying attention, have kicked the crap out of every single team they've played so far. And I like
Utah, but and it's funny because we're like, oh, one of those is a power conference team, but that's UCLA, and we kind of have to reevaluate that after the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Utah had a pretty ugly game for a long time. And one of the rare bets I hit in real life this week was the under of the Wyoming game. I think it was like 9-3 or 6-3 at halftime. Like they are off.
It took them a while to pull away. Yes.
You know, once they figured it out, they pulled away. And like, listen, you can't overreact on clunker games. Ohio State was beating Ohio 13-3 at halftime, I think. Obviously, Texas had a rough day on set. I don't know how much you take away from some of these games. It wasn't Penn State struggling with Villanova for a while before they got – that was the worst bad beat I've ever seen, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. Penn State was like a 45-point favorite, and they were winning and you saw that one-handed circus catch in the back of the end zone with 0 seconds. That was God. I didn't have that, thank God, but that would have pushed me to my end. Can I just say, like, frankly, and maybe it'll just be another loss. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm taking 3.5 because it's a safety mechanism. I don't know. Is Texas Tech great? Is Utah the team this year? I don't know. Is that bad podcasting?
No, because I don't think telling the truth is ever bad. And that is the truth. The truth is this is a conference that we can't predict. These are two teams that are very different than they were last year, who've not played anybody of consequence yet. They've won decisively in every game they've played, but they haven't played anybody of consequence because UCLA turned out to not be of consequence. So, I mean, think about this. And I think this comes down to Utah's offensive line led by Spencer Furneaux and Caleb Lomu, the two tackles who are probably big-time NFL draft prospects. Furneaux is probably a first-rounder. Lomu is moving up the boards. Texas Tech, David Bailey, one of the best pass rushers in the country. Romello Height, Lee Hunter on the inside. Can Utah enforce its will against that group? I don't know. That's where this game is probably going to be won or lost. And this is what Texas Tech paid for, because most Big 12 teams don't have that level of talent on the D line. Most Big 12 teams don't have Utah's level of talent on the O line.
And this is the one thing that I'm hitting a snag at, because it's very easy to say Devin Dampier is a magician and he's really fun to watch. Those things are all very true. But if Utah cannot bully Texas Tech up front and they cannot run the ball down their throat, are they going to be able to pass well enough to win this game? And that, I'm not saying they can't, but that would be my question. And I have that question.
But here's my question, Ari, because Texas Tech's edge guys, they're very good at rushing the passer. How good are they when a first-round offensive tackle is trying to grab them and move them out of the way in the run game? Because that is what will determine who wins.
Not as good as they are the first 3 weeks, that's for sure. Spencer Fano, he's got the goods, man. All I can say about this is that I cannot wait to watch it. This is like a point. If you are a college football person, this game is not for casuals. This game is not for people who don't love college football. This game is for us. Like this is college football.
I'm glad this is the big noon game. I'm glad they're shining the spotlight on this thing because
they should.
It's going to be so cool. It really, because since Texas Tech started this roster rebuild, this is all I've wanted to see is them against one of the better teams in the Big 12. What does that look like?
Yeah. And there are like some teams at the bottom half of the AP poll this week, Andy, like Vanderbilt and Georgia Tech and Texas Tech and Utah, which are like all teams that are ranked in that vicinity because the AP poll voters don't know where to put them.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, what do you do with Georgia Tech? We weren't expecting this from Georgia Tech, and now they're good. Like, do you put them at 9? Look at the 17, 18, 19, 20, and 16. Like 16 through 20 are all.
I would argue that Indiana, Missouri, USC also kind of in the same boat. Like, they could be really good. Like, those could all be playoff teams.
I do think it is interesting.
I have no idea.
And I'm even guilty of it myself, but like Illinois is ranked number 9, and they would probably be in the we don't know what to do with you category. And then there's like glob of 5 teams between 16 and 20 that are like in the same boat of like, you know, the only one that's really highly ranked that hasn't had to prove anything yet is Illinois, while Georgia Tech and Vanderbilt have better wins than Illinois does. And they're like,
now Illinois thought it was proving something against Duke, but it turns out Duke might not be good.
Yeah.
So this is going to be fascinating. So the other part of this, it is the big noon game, but it's in Salt Lake City. So it's the big 10 a.m. game. This is a sleepy start for both these teams. Now, obviously, Texas Tech is a central time zone team, but it's not going to be that different for them. Like, this is an early start for everybody involved. So I don't know if that affects anything. I think it'll definitely affect the fans in Salt Lake City because you don't get that much time to get truly lathered up before a 10 a.m. kickoff. But I'm so excited for this. Ari, it's a coin flip for me too. It is. So I don't have the coin minted yet. I'm going to mint the coin. But I'm flipping it in my mind. And I'm saying heads, Texas Tech, tails, Utah. It's tails. I will take Utah to cover.
Okay, good. I'm happy you're on I don't want you to be on any of the same sides as me. Like I need to make a comeback here.
Or my lead will stretch further.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want to go into the weekend without the opportunity.
That's true. Okay, well, we're on the opposite sides of this one. Ari and I don't plan this beforehand, so I don't know if we're going to wind up on the same side of these things.
Me out every single time I make a pick, you can just agree with me just to make it impossible for me to. But like, that's not the fun of the game. You're going to go.
No, there's no fun in that.